I want to show you a really solid way to buy, prep and cook the perfect pork chop. I think pork chops are one of the things that a lot of people struggle with. Everyone complains that it's dry and uninteresting and boring. So let's kind of get back to basics. Let me show you how you can make pork chops as amazing as any good steak. So first tip to making sure your pork chop is delicious and juicy is to not get little kind of thin pork chops. Get a double chop like that, over an inch thick. That's going to guarantee you the ability to render that golden, develop flavor, but also have it juicy on the inside. What I'm going to do is take my knife and just put the knife very easily in between the fat and the pork chop. At this point, we have the potential to make some little cracklings, okay? Let's just slice up this skin. What's going to happen with this skin is it will kind of get crispy, be a nice little bar snack or a garnish, but most importantly, the fat will render out of it. It will melt, almost like a candle. So into a pan we go. Already I can smell much sweeter smells because I know this is a slower growing pig, right? And it's had a mixed diet. Just score the fat, really simple. Marinades can be your best friend. It allows you to use herbs and flavors and impart flavor into this pork. So a basic marinade can be as simple as taking sage or a little bit of rosemary. You can bash it up, twist it up. You can use other fragrant things like garlic, just a couple of cloves. I'll just squash it. We can add a little vinegar to this, about a tablespoon or two, and then some olive oil, about equal quantities of both. A little bit of black pepper. I'm gonna add some salt as well, and I'm gonna massage that up. So the oil, the acid, and the herbs will go onto the pork, flavor it, really, really nice. And of course, to get the optimal flavor and tenderness out of this, 10 hours or maybe even overnight, but make sure you don't put any salt in that at all. If you're gonna do it last minute, of course you still benefit from flavor and it will start working straight away and it's worth doing. So look, let me just wash my hands and just take out these amazing homemade cracklings. We've created an amazing base of pork fat here. I'm gonna get the two pork chops, put them together, and then I'm gonna place it like that, skin side down. So maybe 3 or 4 minutes will do just this, and I'll wash down a little bit. Okay, let's have a little look at the pork chop. Using the tongs, look at that. Yeah, it's working lovely. Very carefully, we're gonna go on the side like this, and the pan is on full whack, and we wanna caramelize, we wanna get it golden, we wanna give it a kind of nice spark, as I would call it. And I'll turn it every minute for about 7 minutes, I would say. You can go a bit less if you want to, and you can go a bit more if you want to. Already starting to get gnarly and outrageously gorgeous. So one of the keys is don't overcrowd the pan, right? If you had 4 pork chops in there, that side, it'll all be boiling, going tough by now. Now we'll turn it again and change the position. One of the simple things I like to do, take a nice pear or apple, and we can cook that at the same time in the pan as we're cooking the pork. Pretty much done. It's had about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. I'll pick in just a few extra sage leaves now, you know, to give a little bit of last minute fragrance. I'm gonna take just the pork chops over to the platter. Look at that. And take out any of those bits of garlic. They'll be delicious. Bits of sage leaf, you know, these little pears have done their job. And now we'll let that rest for about half the time that we cooked the pork. So what we can do is just take one lovely chop. Look at that. You can see how easy that knife just moves through the pork. What I like to do is slice this first kind of part, but then kind of chunking the other parts. So of course someone will get the bone, which is always a joy to get. And then that kind of end of the bone, you can kind of almost cube it. What you're doing is you're forcing the mouth to chew differently and enjoy the flavors and the different cuts in a different way. Beautiful, tender, juicy pork chop. Let's just plate up. I love the little dicey bits. Look at the color of that pear. It's amazing. No gravy, no stock cubes, nothing. That is just pure, natural resting juices. But look, enough talking. Let's get in there. Let's have a little try. I'm really happy with that. There you go, guys. Juicy pork. Enjoy.